This year I'm doing something very different for decorating. I decided to lay everything out that I have, and what doesn't get used gets donated. Let's go ahead and decorate for Halloween 2025 the entire house. Honestly, whipping out my little voiceover thing is just taking me back, the nostalgia. I haven't done voiceovers in such a long time. I did one like not even like a couple days ago, but anyways, it's such a weird voice over intro. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm just putting all of my decor out so that I can actually see it. I've never really decorated like this before. If you've watched me, then you know I decorate in sections. So I always start at the front of the house, go to the back of the house, and that's how I do it, but not this time. This time, I also wanted to be really purposeful with all of my bins, especially since I had to fish them out of the attic, and if you watched my vlog, you saw how that went down. And I was just like, okay, like I don't want to have extra weight in these bins if I don't need to, so if I was going to do all that work getting them down, I was going to put in the work to basically go back through it. Now, LOL on the end, because you'll see what I actually just end up donating, but the good news is that I actually before I filmed this, my mom helped me set out most of everything, so I had already gone through my bins before I started filming, so my mom actually took a good chunk of my stuff, and then I already started a donation pile, so not to confuse anybody, that was done again off camera in the beginning of this video. But yeah, I really wanted to kind of focus on getting everything out, everything in front of my face, things that I know I hadn't used before, so that I could know that it existed and see if like I would reach for it. And so I started kind of decorating with, I don't really know, I just started grabbing and I started going. Again, not my usual tactic here, so you will kind of see me go all around the house. This is where I start to pull things out that I hadn't before. So like I put those pumpkins by the fireplace. I absolutely love those pumpkins. I just haven't really like grabbed for them in the last year or so, especially in this house specifically. So this is like my second Halloween here. And anyways, I was really hoping I was gonna reuse my orange pillows, even though I looked back to see like what I did last year and I did do black, and the orange just wasn't vibing with the candy corn. So I did find myself having to do the pillows, and honestly, out of all the work I do in decorating, pillows and changing them out is the only thing that makes me sweat. Like I was really going through it, changing these pillows, but it's so worth it because it's just cheaper and you don't have to like store, you know, hundreds of pillows. You can just buy pillow covers. I will link what I can that I've shopped for down below from Amazon. So like all my pillow inserts are from there. So at this point, I'm just, you know, trying to get the vibes going. I'm trying to really get the basis of the black going so that I can kind of see how the candy corn is going to work with it. And then of course I've got to pull out this right here. It's one of my favorite features, especially just loving white furniture, and I do love white furniture, but it helps to kind of like add dimension and layering, and it does break up all that white, and I love adding the blankets. So you see I'm going shopping, if you will, back at the counter, grabbing things, trying different things, moving some things around. I also really love that checkered buffalo vibe. I think it works so well with like my whole theme. So yeah, and then of course I'm adding my crows as I go to all of the cute little cozy spots and corners. So as I'm grabbing for my crows, I'm finally getting to a point where I can grab for these. Now these are like what, a ceramic material. I want to say I got them from like Hobby Lobby a long time ago, even though Hobby Lobby does not do Halloween, but I think that they were the ones where I got these. And I love them. They always traditionally go in my entryway, but this year I added a third and I added a little black pumpkin to the bottom. So it does look different, and I think it definitely looks better, even though it's very, very similar to last year. But you'd have to go back and watch last year's to like see how adding a couple of more elements really upped the space. Then I move into my office, and I really do my office quite similar again to last year. I'm adding my crows, I'm adding my spookier books, but I did two things kind of different this year to my office than I did last year. So one of the first things is I did not add my pillow, which the only reason why I didn't add my pillow to my chair is because I couldn't find it. And it's the black pillow that says I put a spell on you. And I've had that pillow for a really long time. I don't know where it is, but if I ever find it, it's gonna go in my office chair. Then the second thing that I did was new is this right here, where I'm actually adding additional garland to my TV, and I'm so glad I did this. I talk about it more in the end of this video, but it really changed the game, and it added just a little bit more visual effect, and I love it. And of course, adding crows there as well. And then I had some extra left over, and I added it here to block all of my wires, and I love that too. I was like, hey, let me add a crow. These are missing wings. This one's broken, so these are gonna be a donate. This one, unfortunately, I think is trash, which really hurts. Probably one of my favorite drawers in this entire house are my candle drawers. Now this one in specific is like fall and Halloween, so I'm going shopping and I'm trying to pick out the perfect candle to go in my office. So I'm picking out several options. We're gonna head there, I'm gonna try them out. I like to switch things in and out, and I like to take a step back, kind of look at it. I also like the look of coloring as well. So to me, I thought that the black candle just looked better visually for me. And then of course, gotta light it, and it just, candles are a really great way to add like that cozy fall experience and lighting. Like if you're not gonna do decor, a little bit of twinkle lights and like a fluffy blanket and a candle ought to do the trick. Anyways, now I'm going through everything at this point on the counter. I'm like, okay, these are fall items. I'm not going to use them. So I have this little fall bin because I am going to go back to fall. That might seem like a lot of work, but I absolutely love it. I enjoy myself, and I am going to be bringing back this place setting because it's going to be our place setting for Thanksgiving dinner. So, and then I end up decorating for Christmas like that week of Thanksgiving. Sometimes like Thanksgiving Day, like I'll bring out the tree. It just kind of depends. Like every year it is different for me. When Micah was growing up and in school, I actually wouldn't start decorating Christmas until after like December 4th because her birthday's December 4th, and sometimes it was like, you know, I don't know, it just didn't feel birthday-esque to have a Christmas tree, but then it's like my birthday's on Christmas. So, you know, there's lots of December birthdays, but I've done it different a lot of years. Anyways, I just trailed off into Christmas. But now I am, for the first time, doing this place setup for Halloween here. And I am shook. I honestly didn't think I was going to do this at all. I didn't think I was going to have a Halloween tablescape at all. That wasn't the vision. I was just going to throw some pumpkins there. And then I was like, oh, I have these, I have this, I have that. All things, mind you, that I hauled years ago. And that is why this method worked so well for me. I'm shocked. Like, just putting everything out and seeing everything I have. I've seen lots of people do it. I don't know why I just jumped on this bandwagon. I truly don't know why, but I can see why people do this. So I really am surprised how well a concept like this actually turned out, and that concept led to what I think is such a cute Halloween tablescape. Anyways, as you can see, I'm just going through, grabbing things, realizing, okay, I'm going to use this, I'm not going to use that, and just trying to also like clean up the space as I go, and moving into my dining room, which I always keep ultra simple. And then at this point, I'm like, okay, a lot of these things I know are specifically for my media room, so I want to just kind of like get them out of the way, because at this point I was like, I have all this leftover stuff, I don't know what to do with it. I'm kind of coming down, you know, to like the end of these spaces, and I'm like, okay, but I have all of this decor here, like where am I going with this? So my next phase was like, okay, let me go ahead and move everything I think I'm going to use into the media room, and let me just kind of get it out of my visual eyesight. So that's really what I'm doing here, and I'm kind of like resorting and reorganizing. So like here, I'm like, okay, let me take these things out of here for my half bath, which unfortunately is not in today's video. I decorated it off camera this morning actually, and it's so cute, and I'll do like a Halloween nighttime spooky tour with you guys, and you'll get to see it there. So, oh, and see, look, I found some plates, and I end up going back to, you know, the dining room table or the kitchen nook table and adding it. And I'm just so impressed with like how this process really worked out for me. And then probably the cutest Amazon piece I've ever found. Look how cute. They're roasting freaking marshmallows, and it's a little nighttime like plug-in light. So adorable. All right, I've gotten to the kitchen and I'm getting a little stuck. I'm not sure where I'm going with this. Obviously, I have a candy corn theme. I like to think of it as candy corn is my cake and my crows are my icing. But when I'm getting to this kitchen, I'm like, okay, so then I have a bunch of this decor that I really love. I love these polka dot pumpkins, and I love this little like cookie jar, and I have my spooky houses. Originally I picked them up and took them into my media room, but my media room is black cats, so I'm not going to be using the spooky houses in there. Plus I think I have like, yeah, I have other things that I wanted to bring out. I definitely wanted like a Joanna Parker moment in the kitchen. As weird as it sounds, I definitely think better when the camera's off. So let me just turn you guys off for a second and see what I can do. All right, pausing for an update on what I know I'm not gonna be using. So I've had these for a really long time, and I think they're actually gonna go in my guest bedroom. Do the purple lights is what Micah chose for the lamps that we have in there. And then I have green lights left, and I have another orange light, and I think I'm gonna do either orange or green in the media room. We're gonna do the media room last. So I've been moving all the decor I know I'm using in here because I'm doing like black cats and candy corns I don't want to get rid of. I may reach for these candy corn pillows. I'm not sure. I don't want to get rid of my little spooky houses that I made from Dollar Tree, so I won't be doing that. I'm gonna pull out this little crow. I know I'm not gonna use this guy, and I believe I got him from like Tuesday morning, but there's no way I can get rid of it. I have used it before. I've used it in like my display by the fireplace a few years ago, so I'm just gonna hang on to him. This trick or treat I can go ahead and donate, so we're gonna start a little donate pile here. I'm gonna move these over here for the guest bedroom, and then a little donate pile here. I wanted to put this out and have like a picture of Micah in a Halloween costume. All right, next up are going to be these little candy corns. I got them from the at-home store, I think. No, this was like TJ Maxx actually. So I actually prefer them on this side, but they do give a like Joanna Parker vibe a little bit on this side as well, but I don't think I'm gonna pull for them this year, but I do love them. So I'm not gonna get rid of these. This is just too beautiful. It was like in my guest bathroom. I might end up using it in there, so I'm just kind of collecting a couple of things until I do this space. I don't think I'm gonna use these boxes of lights, but they're lights, so it's good to keep them. Hocus Pocus, this is just such a great book. I bought this on Amazon actually. I'll link it in case you're interested. I got it in Florida, or while we were living in Florida, and I used it as like decor in the living room, but I don't want to get rid of it, so I'm okay with that. So that can go there. Then I have this candy corn garland. I don't like, do you see the difference in that garland to this garland? This is just a little bit more bright, but I don't want to get rid of them. This one's Dollar Tree, and I don't know what that one is. This piece right here, I don't know. This piece is just so beautiful. It's one of a kind. I bought it years and years and years ago. Yeah. Yep. We're gonna use it. We're gonna use it in the guest bedroom. Okay. And I think these lights will be cute in the guest bedroom as well. So far we have one donation item. These are not donation. They're my Dollar Tree little trinket jars. They're like a Joanna Parker dupe. and I don't know where I'm gonna put them just yet. So let's kind of get them out of the sorting way. I need to find a place. I think he would be really cute over here. Okay, then we have these little salt and pepper shakers. I think these are gonna go up in my here, because I've been putting salt and pepper shakers kind of throughout. I added the little squirrels too, and maybe these are gonna look cute up there. I think so, because I need a little bit of yellow up there. Okay, so I put them up here, and honestly I think it just works so well. I think it really needed some yellow there, so that's okay. Then we have random little candy corn things. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in the box as not using for this year, but I know that if I need something, I can pull from this bin right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all of these tucked away. I love this little thing. I think it'll be cute with this. We need a little bit of orange. So, and I really love it, and I just want like an excuse to use it. So guest bedroom. And then we have this darling little piece, but I genuinely don't know like where I would put it this year. So we're just gonna keep it though. I don't want to donate it. And then these little lights, I'm gonna do donation. This I'm gonna donate. And then these are my little cookies I bought from like Etsy. They're like faux cookies. I love this little pumpkin, and I think this little trio is also so darling. So I don't know, maybe it'll go in that room. And I guess on that note, maybe this could be a really cute vibe in there. Then I have these candy corn pillows. They just didn't work out as much as I love them. For some reason, they're just so harsh to me, but I might use one actually right here. Yep, actually that's perfect. And then I had to buy 2 more of these since I figured out I can do them on these chairs, just how you saw my orange plaid ones. So I have to wait for those to come from Amazon tomorrow. But then there's these guys. And I love these more than anything. And oddly enough, I love it more than any of my real Joanna Parker items, because I got them for $5 each at Dollar Tree. And so it just, I don't know, it just means something to me. Let's see if I just can't make this work in the guest bedroom. And out of all of that, this is all I'm gonna donate. All right, it's the next day. I obviously look different, and we're in the media room. So this is the last room that I'm gonna work on. I'm gonna go ahead and put on a cozy Halloween. I think I wanna do Halloween Town. One thing about me is I have been decorating for a really long time, and I have had different seasons of how I showed up in decorating, if you will. I have showed up where it felt obligatory. I didn't want to do it. One time I think I cried. Like, I just was not in the zone. I didn't want to decorate. And then there have been times where I've been really happy and love it. And one thing that I feel like is really, really important is to set on a movie or music, like whichever you prefer, or even both. I feel like the process should be happy, and this should be part of the good time, not just enjoying it, if that makes sense, like the process as well. And I've gotten lost on that. So one thing I also try to do is, if I am just like in an overwhelmed state in that point in my life, but I'm also decorating, I try to break it up within like multiple days. I don't over push myself, because then it just like robs you of the entire process, you know, if you're just not gonna enjoy it. So movies are definitely a big thing for me. They make all the difference. And so, like I said, we're gonna do Halloween Town. I have my aligners in, that's why I sound a little wonky, but I'm gonna keep the volume up so I can enjoy the movie. YouTube doesn't tend to like that, so probably gonna roll music and also kind of come through as a voiceover. But first, before I get into that, I'm just gonna turn you guys, because YouTube also doesn't like when you guys see those things. I don't know why. They think I'm trying to make money off of this for like 30 freaking seconds. So I have a whole new system now with my movie posters. I drafted up an entire list, and I'm actually going to be changing out my posters every month now. So these are my fall posters. They're really great. I love them. Mystic Pizza, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Labyrinth, and then Goonies. So we are gonna, of course, get into more Halloween version. So I'm gonna bring out Hocus Pocus, Beetlejuice. I have Harley Quinn. Sometimes I play her, or I put her up for Halloween. Sometimes I don't. I really wanted Weird Science this year, but I didn't buy it. Also, I have a black cat theme in here. I did buy a couple of new things. I bought another one of these. So I had two for back here, and I'm gonna put one over here. I have to admit, this is my least favorite part. But one thing I did to help myself is I wrote a list of all the movies and posters that are in this frame. So it is extra heavy because I do have them all laying in here. So I have Goonies, Halloween. So I'm gonna bring out Halloween, Beetlejuice, Scream, Practical Magic. Oh, wait. I think Practical Magic is part of Fall Part 2, which is in November. So Practical Magic won't come out till November 1st. In this one, I have Labyrinth, Christmas Vacation, Jaws, 16 Candles, Weekend at Bernie's, Summer Rental, Groundhog's Day, Romancing the Stone, and Baby Boom. Baby Boom is Fall Part 2, so that one will show up in November. What I'm doing right now is I'm gonna go ahead and set these up for the entire rest of the year, meaning I purposely pick certain posters to go in certain spots. So this is like Micah's chair. This is my chair. And so I do pick very specific posters. So I'm gonna go ahead and organize them so that way I don't have to like move all the posters around, because I don't have them in their permanent spots right now. All right, we've got all our movies on, and I updated the backs with the movies I put in. So like my movies that are gonna be here for November and December are already on this one, so I don't have to like move them around for the rest of the year. All right, and I am finished with the media room. It turned out so cute this year. I'm just gonna turn this down, but I have the lights off so you can just kind of like see how cute and cozy it is at night. I had to do a lot of battery installation, pull them out and use them. So definitely telling myself that I needed to use it or lose it really helped in making the decision to be like, okay, how can I use these? And I think they give such an ambiance. Micah loves candles. This is new this year too. It remained the same. I have the same pillows and these, so I purchased it in 2024, but this little guy is new. I was hoping more for a felt like piece of toy, kind of like the last one you saw with the mouse for fall, but this little black cat with the stars is just perfect. It says Hocus Pocus on there. I don't know if I use this pillow like this. I'd have to go back and watch, but I'm glad I have it out here. And then I repurposed this black blanket that was over on my side for fall, and then I put it on today's date. I think you guys are gonna get to see the video here. And then in the back, the new things are the black candles again. I've had them for years, but just they're new to the space. And then the light bulb, which they're from Dollar Tree. I do have orange and I do have purple. Purple is gonna be in the guest bedroom. And I thought it would just be fun to do green in here. So I really love these lamps. They're from Amazon. And look, even with the Dollar Tree bulb, they still do the dimmer effect, which is really cool. So there's that. And then you saw I turned my pumpkins around and yeah, installed all my batteries, and I have my candy corn pieces in here. And that is basically the media room. In the entryway, we have the crows. I love that I did something down here, so that is different this year. I have a stack of pumpkins. As you saw, I just added a black one to make it more Halloween vibes, and then I added the crows to the end, and that was all that I did in this space. So I added 4 items, and I love how that turned out. In my office, I really like how it turned out. Quite a few different things, but it's all things I had on hand. So I added the garland here just to like cover up my wires. Then I added a little crow, and you see I have my candle burning, and then I added my crows again here, but this year I added this garland on top instead of just there, and it just makes such a difference. I love it. I'm gonna leave it for fall. Yes, I will transition back to fall after Halloween. And then I added my crows over here. Crows are a little bit harder to find. You definitely can't find them at Hobby Lobby because they don't do Halloween, but they look really cute here. And I think the black pop of the crows just gives it that spookier effect. And then over on my desk, I have my Casper journals, and this is where I actually decided to put my Dollar Tree trinket jars. I'm gonna put candies in these instead of the Lang ones. And so I also have these 2 over in this. That takes care of my office. When we come into the dining room, I just decided to set out these wicker baskets, but I'm keeping them stacked together. I don't know, I'm not really doing bats per se, but it blends in kind of well. And then I added my last 2 little crows here. I have this cute little plug-in, which I got from Amazon. They're making marshmallows, so I will link it down below. Okay, once we get over here, we have the kitchen, which I actually really adore how it came out. I didn't have a finalized vision in my mind. What I do wish I would have done is switched out the bows for black, because I really like the satin bow, so I still want the satin effect, and I made that bow myself, but I need to add a clip to the back. As you can see, I have crows up in here. It's a little hard to kind of get them to like not fall face forward. There we go. That's much better. He was down in the dumps. And then I added a little guy here and then one up there, and I think it looks super cute. We have the TV station. I really didn't do anything. There's a lot of great Halloween movies in here already. You know, just Casper. Oops. Some of these aren't Halloween, like Outrageous Fortune, but you know, Gremlins, that's more Christmas. But Monster Squad, Monster House. We've got Halloween Town High, Hocus Pocus, The Burbs, Beetlejuice, which is playing, Bewitched and Death Becomes Her, and Tower of Terror and Halloween and Teen Witch. So we have a lot of great Halloween movies in here. And then we have my candy bowl, which I do need to put candy in here. So let me do that now. Because I got one. Little Halloween ambiance, super fun. And then more Joanna Parker or Transpac. I don't know, they're the same. I do wish that I would have had like a spooky picture this year and another spooky picture this year, but it'll be in the works. Over here, I have this little thing that I got this year, and then I stacked more of my Joanna Parker items here, which I actually really love this. I do feel like I'm missing some green. Something's a little lacking in foliage here, but to consider next year. And then I always have a mug that I use as a display mug. It's my mug collection again. I used one of the teddy bears today, so it's in the wash, but yeah, look how good this looks. Obsessed with that. And then over here, I was really happy with how my dining table turned out. This really surprised I even surprised myself. I got my stack of pumpkins, some crows going on here, and then she's another one of my little pieces that looks like those other ones by the coffee machine. And then I have had this for several years, finally used it. And then I didn't even realize that I had napkin rings, so I ordered some from Amazon, not realizing I had these, so I'm returning the Amazon ones. The Amazon ones were like spider webs, but I love the white pop of it to match the plate, and then my icon plates, and then just these, you know, for the touch. And these are Dollar Tree spider webs, and I use it as a charger. I think that's so cool and so creative, honestly. So I absolutely love that. So definitely go get those at Dollar Tree. So cute. And then 2 of them are ghosts, and then 2 of them are bats. So looks really good. Over here, all I did was add this burlap pumpkin, because I do have burlap in for, you know, for Halloween as one of my signature prints. So I thought it needed something over here, and I really like how it turned out, and also just very simple. Okay, for the living room, the last room, I am still waiting for one thing from Amazon, so I'm gonna have to insert a clip when I do get it, because I'm just like finalizing this video now, but I am waiting for it to come, and I'll show you guys what it is. But my crows from Tuesday morning, my pride and joys, absolutely love them. They're honestly what actually sparked the whole crow thing, were these. So, and then you can just kind of see all the spookiness going on throughout, all the crows, all the black detail. I finally used these candy corn pillows this year. I gotta look back and see like how I did it last year, but I don't know what pillow situation I did. And then I have the gingham there. I just honestly threw a bunch of like pumpkins and stuff over here just to use them. So there's that, and then the garland. And then this is a new blanket this year, my little candy corn blanket, love her. And then another one of those pumpkins. So what is missing is for this couch. And I ordered 2 more of those. One will go here and one will go here. And it really will make all the difference, especially when your furniture is all white. I would consider a blanket like that just to kind of give it some more dimension. And I think once I have that gingham, this pillow will pop even more. So again, I'm gonna insert a clip here. Hopefully I get it if it delivers. Sometimes they delay it, but that is my Halloween decorate with me. Oh, I also put these up, and they are So cute, just perfect. We've got that checkered gingham, we've got the candy corn, and that is the house this year for Halloween 2025.